Right. Right, Aries. Let me just connect with this reading and I'll be straight back. Right, Aries. What I'm picking up for the month of March with you regarding love. As the overall energy is the Queen of Swords here. I think you're really taking a kind of logical approach about love, really. And I think you're really thinking a lot about how you want, your love life to go and what you really truly want from love. Aries, I think you've been kind of closed off with love, in the month of March here. The Queen of Swords, she doesn't mess about, she's straight to the point, and I'm feeling like Aries, you're not wanting to mess about anymore, regarding love. I'm feeling from this reading, you're not wanting to mess about anymore, regarding your love life. I'm thinking now you're really wanting something serious. You're wanting something more secure, Aries, because I think you're kind of shifting, your approach on love. Maybe before you gave your all, you always gave yourself, to the person, but they never gave it all to you. So I think you're wanting, a balance within your relationship, Aries. You want the equal give and take. You don't want it to be an up and down thing. You want these two pentacles to be on the same level as each other here. And the Ace of Wands is in the heart of this reading. So I think it's something what's just started to grow, Aries. You're trying to refocus how you think on love. You're wanting something completely new from love. You're not wanting the same as you used to, Aries. I feel like you're looking for something really serious, what's going to be a 50-50 type of thing, Aries, because in the past, you was hurt, you did get hurt. And, by getting hurt like you did, it's made you really think and know what you want from love now. And I don't think you're messing about, Aries, and with the Moon card also, I think your intuition also is quite heightened at this time also. I think you're really trying to connect with your higher self also, and it's just all about you, Aries, the month of March, because you are the Empress, Aries, so you're quite independent, you're secure, you know what you want, because the Empress, she knows what she wants, she doesn't want to mess about in her life. She wants somebody who's serious and who's really going to look after her. So this is really your energy, Aries, and you know now how to be regarding love. You've got all the tools here, and you're like, well, finally, I do really know what I do want from love now. I'm not confused about it. You're taking a stand in what you believe in, Aries, when you're thinking to yourself, at the end of the day, I'm number one, so I deserve the best, and so you should be, Aries, because before, you used to give your all in relationships, but now you're starting to realise that, it's not all about you giving your all to someone, they have to give it back to you also. So you're not taking any any BS regarding love. I think you're really serious about what you're wanting. And, as before, the Ten of Swords, you really used to feel down on yourself, Aries. You used to always doubt yourself and think that you're not good enough, for a decent person, Aries. But you're coming out of this now. And, with the Two of Swords, you kind of guarding yourself as well, Aries, because you're not wanting to get hurt again. So I think you're really gonna take your time, with love, and you're not gonna jump into it, wholeheartedly, like Aries does. You're gonna take a logical approach to things from now on, Aries, and you're not going to be so impulsive over love. When you're really gonna think about things, before you jump into anything else, Aries, and that's really good. You're really finding the balance within yourself, Aries, and that is great to see. It really is. And you're just ready, because you've really changed a few things about yourself, Aries, and you're just ready just to see what's out there for you, because I think now truly you do know what you want from a partner, because you've been through, a bit of heartache, but you've learned a lot of valuable lessons from it, Aries. So you're just ready now just to leap into, into your life and just move forward. And, you're not going to let the past affect you anymore, Aries, because you've really worked on yourself and you're really serious now about what you do want from love, Aries. And that is great, because the relationship is a give and a take thing. It's not always, give, or take, take. It's about having that balance. And, that now, Aries. You've come to that conclusion yourself. So that's fantastic. So, yeah, Aries, good for you. It's about time that, you look for something and someone who's going to treat you, with respect. And why shouldn't you, Aries, So that's fantastic. All right, and at the bottom of the deck, Aries, we have the Three of Wands. Right, Aries, what I'm picking up with you general is I think there's two particular people who are very interested in you, Aries. We have a water sign and an earth sign. So this is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And the earth sign is Taurus, Capricorn, Virgo. I think they're really pursuing you, Aries. But, you're not really sure about these two people here, Aries, because, we've got the Nine of Wands here. So, like I said in the love reading, you have your guard up a bit here because, you're not wanting a mess about, with love here, Aries. And, I feel also that you're going to be it's going to make you a bit unbalanced having these two options, Aries. Because we've got the Seven of Cups here. So it's going to make you a bit confused. I think maybe, you like one of them, right? But you're not really sure what their intentions are, Aries. So you're keeping, your cards close to your chest here. Because, like I said, you do really know what you want now, Aries. And, you don't want just... you want something serious, you don't want a fling, or you don't want something what's going to be, maybe a friends with benefits type of a deal. You really want something serious. So you're not really sure about these offers because I think, you think, oh, well, they're only after one thing, and I think, you're gonna really get an offer from one of these people, Aries, because you've got the Four of Cups here, but I don't think you're going to be paying any of these any attention, Aries, because I think maybe, you realise they're not really serious, because it is a knight and a page, so, it's not a king. It's not a king of pentacles or a king of cups here. These two energies are quite immature. So you're coming up here, Aries, as the Emperor. So, you're not messing about, you know what you want now, and, you're being straightforward with it. And, if these two options here are just wanting a quick fling, or just wanting to mess about, you're not having it, you're standing strong in what you're wanting, Aries, and, you're being serious in the month of March, Aries, and I don't think you're going to be paying any mind to these two offers here, even though they really like you. I'm feeling like they're not that serious with you, Aries. So, you're standing in, your energy here, definitely. And, the Emperor, he doesn't take any crap from anyone. So that's really good to see, Aries, because, you're wanting something more secure now, because you're secure, right? You know what you want. You have everything you want, especially materially. Your finances are quite good. You're a well-rounded woman, Aries or man, and you want the same back. You don't want, you want somebody who's going to be on your level, Aries. You're not wanting a type of an airhead person, who doesn't really know what they want, but you do know what you want, Aries. So I don't think you're going to be really paying them any mind, Aries, because you've got the world here also. So this is you really coming into your own, Aries. You're really coming into your own as a human being. I think now you're such a whole person, and you're just not taking any shit, Aries. You really want something stable and secure, and these two offers, I don't think they're very serious. They just mess about, Aries. So I don't think you're going to be having any of it here, Aries. So that's good for you. I don't think you're wanting to be messed around anymore, Aries. When you're taking a stand in what you really believe in here, Aries. So good for you. Don't take anything. Don't get into anything, just for the sake of it, just because maybe they like you, you wanting somebody to offer you something serious, not something, what hasn't got anything behind it, But that's really good, Aries. I'm very proud of you. You're really standing in your truth, and you're really wanting something really secure, and good for you, because, you can't be with someone who's not on your vibration, because it's not going to mesh well, is it? You'll just be wasting your time, and then you'll have the same results as last time. You'll be thinking, oh, I wasted so much time with that person, why did I put all my energy into it? But now you're standing firm in your belief, and you know what you really want now, Aries. So that's really good. And it says, by you doing that, standing up for what you believe in here, the right person is coming slowly but surely. because you're sending that vibration out to the universe now because you know what you want, Aries. So the person is picking up your energy and is slowly coming to you. So that's beautiful to see. Well done, Aries. Right, Aries, I feel very soon. I feel like a past life relationship is going to be very relevant to you pretty soon, Aries, because, like I said, the Three of Wands very soon, because you've been putting that energy out to the universe, of what you truly want. And that person is feeling your vibration, Aries. So it says, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So Aries, you've clearly decided what it is you're wanting. So I feel like, you're going to be meeting this person pretty soon. Because they can really feel your energy, and your vibration. And I think it's going to be a significant person, Aries, because you've got past life relationship here. So I'm feeling this person you are going to meet, you have known them before in a past life. That's why they can feel your energy, because you have been connected to them before, in a past life. And it says you have known each other before, Aries. So yeah, beautiful. You're really going to meet a beautiful person, I'm feeling, Aries. And it says healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So I think you've really been doing that work, Aries. You've been really healing yourself, and especially family issues, from the past. And, you're feeling a lot better, from doing it. So that's really great, Aries. Right, Aries, this one just flips out for you. So you have choice here, Aries. So you have a choice now to really truly have what it is you're wanting, Aries. So it says, you have the right to change your mind, Aries. So, you know that you have the right now to have whatever it is you're wanting, Aries. You have that choice. You are the person at the end of the day, Aries, what makes things happen. So, you realise you do have the choice, to have a proper relationship, Aries. So that's really good.